How's it going? Whew, what a day. I tell you, this is my first full cup of tea today, except the little one I had at 5:30 this morning. Oh, yeah, it was very good. All right, let's, here we go. I'm going to pop out the chat. You're getting a live stream today because I'm going shopping tomorrow. So I won't be here. And I didn't have time to make a video today because hi Angie, you made it. I didn't make a video today because I was organizing my bedroom closet. I phoned Howie at work. I got some sleep. I got about 5 straight hours of sleep. And I phoned Howie at work. Now remember, if you want me to say hi in the chat so I know who's here. I phoned Howie at work and said, can you take my big dresser out onto the deck or to the curb? I don't care where. Tonight if I get it cleaned out. And he said, yeah, I guess I could. Right? So green tomatoes to can for fried green tomatoes. You can them and then make fried green tomatoes? I need to think about that. I thought, I laid, honest to God, okay, because I get up at 5 and I slept from 1 a.m. until 4. So I got 3 hours sleep there. And then I dozed until it was time to get up for Howie at 5. Went back to bed at 6. And then woke up at 11 and laid in bed thinking about what the hell I'm going to do today. So I thought about what I want to do in here, right? I want to get all of this from here over out of here, right? All of these plastic bins and dressers are getting out of here. And oh my God. I thought it all starts with my bedroom closet. My bedroom closet has never actually been used for clothing, really. It's been used for storage of craft materials, suitcases, that kind of thing. I'm doing much better. I'm doing much better. Yesterday I was sore, but I'm okay, right? So I laid in my bed and I looked at the closet door. And I knew. It was like I could clean my entire room, but the closet's still there, ready to spill out at any moment, right? So I said, okay, we start with the closet. And so I opened my closet that was packed to the brim, and I started sorting through stuff. And I found photographs and fabric that's discontinued that I thought I had no more of, and I do. I found my nephew Mikey's original quilt that I gave him when he was like 15 or 16 or 20. I can't remember how old he was. But he sent it back to me because it's torn to pieces. So I have to remake that for him. I have to finish Briar's. But I can't think of these things, right? I threw out 2 garbage bags of stuff that I will never use, right? And that has taken me all day. Well, not all day. It's taken me 4 hours. 4 hours. And because tomorrow I can't do any more because I got to go shopping, right? So my closet is now ready for me to go through these bins. Like that craft bin stays the same. But the bins my cousin Marnie gave me, I've got to go through them. And then all these bins will go in my closet. So, all right, let me say hi to everybody. Let me pop out the participants. Angie, Angie, Barefoot Chickens, Becky Emerald Skies, Frida, Joanna, Kim Solomon, Lacey Black, Lori Peer, Melinda Chinook. What a great name, Chinook. It's a warm wind, isn't it? Mama Dukes, Nanette Yauger. Is it Jaeger or Yauger? Or Yager? Pammy P.S., Stella Gardner, Tammy Fritchie. Are you new here? I don't remember seeing your name before. If you are, welcome. Terry McKinney, Tina Elliott, and Wanda we go. Okay, let me go back to the live chat. So, oh, I know. I actually, while I was working in my bedroom, I took my big box fan, and I have an exhaust fan with 2 fans in it, and I close the window on it, and it pulls out the warm air. Well, I had that turned around to bring in the cool air last night. I slept really good. But I took that down, and I put my big box fan in the window. And I brought in cool air, because it's the shady side of the house, so. Hey, Dixie Muir! Georgia, canning turkey today. Hi, Linda. How are you? Freaky Geek. Rosie. Mom's Homestead from England. There you go. Yes, but you know what? The math will work just the same next year. Because in 2024, if I add my age or my birth date, wait a minute. How did you do that? In 2024, I will be 60. See, it still comes out the same. It's the same. Everybody, you know what I mean? In 2024, if you take away the year you were born, you still get the age you are today. So it's kind of cool. It's fun, but you can do that every year. Oh no, I'm not overdoing it. I actually, I took some pictures. I found, like, I've got a whole bin of pictures because there was a time I was doing scrapbooks. I actually found all the pictures of the work we've done on the house since we bought it. And, well, not the pictures of the addition, because that's all on video. But I started a scrapbook of that. And then I found pictures of Arthur when he was a baby. Right? And I sent them to Mel, and she went, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, father and son look very, very much alike. Mama Khalil. Oui, ça va bien. Et vous? Or tu? Et tu, et vous? That's about it. I'm not very good with French. No cans, pints. What are we talking about? 20 can, well, I call it canning too. Cowboy soup, going to work on unstuffed cabbage soup tomorrow. Hey, Brenda Smalley. Oh, I know. And you know what else? I found the pictures, or some of the pictures, of the house my parents bought in 1955 when my mom was pregnant with their 3rd child. See, they were living at my grandparents' house. I found pictures of my grandparents. I'm going to get stuff framed. From Moscow, Idaho. Okay, threw me off there for a second. Did it work? Laundry. You know what used to work really well? Is my cousin Charlene, Angela's mom. Angela Passmore's mom. Used to clean the bathtub with laundry powder. She said, watch. And she'd wet a cloth and put some powdered laundry soap on it, and it would clean like a whistle. But who buys powdered laundry soap anymore? It's almost 4:20. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Hi, Lori. That's okay. I just got here. Honey. Ben, hey, you Ben Bastage. How are you, Tom? Found my grandmother's census registration when they first got to this country in 1926. Somewhere I have a ticket of my grandfather landing at Ellis Island in 1919. What's 420, Linda Bob? Well, 420 is the time of day when everybody takes a break and lights one. And then on April 20th at 420 is when we all celebrate the legalization of marijuana in Canada. And yes, I marched for that. I was thinking about this. Oh, where's my... Oh, there it is. I was thinking about this. Hey, Carolyn. Can you still buy powdered laundry detergent? Oh, probably. But who wants to? I learned when I was with Amway, or Interbiz it used to be called in Canada. When I was with Amway, I learned that most powdered laundry soap came with fillers like powdered milk and shit. It was just really nasty. And you could buy a box of powdered laundry soap that big from Amway and use a tablespoon. And it worked. So, I love you, Bev, and all my other friends I've met through Bev that are there. Well, thank you, Tom. You buy powdered regularly? Well, I remember back in when I first started my, I first started my, I didn't know I had started my YouTube channel, Our Half Acre Homestead, until somebody emailed me and said that she was grateful for my video. And I went, what? And I had to call Briar upstairs and go, who is this person and how did they get my email address? And he goes, Mom, you probably made your YouTube channel public. I said, channel? You just told me I had to upload it to this place and then send the link. You didn't tell me it was a channel that people... He said, well, yeah, you made it public too, right? Hey, Tina! Abone YouTube Mama Khalil official son. I'm not sure I get that. I'm not sure I understand that. Thankfully, my employer cannot discriminate against me for my medical cannabis now. Yay! But I remember writing, because then they were... This was before they brought out pods, okay? This was before pods, so it was like 2009, 2010. And they were just doing bottles of ultra laundry soap, which was more condensed, right? And I wrote to Tide, I wrote to Sunlight, I wrote to all the companies that did powdered laundry soap or did liquid laundry soap. I said, what the hell are you people doing? You're not helping any by putting out all these plastic jugs. By making laundry soap liquid, we still are dealing with plastic. I said, it was easier when you had laundry powder in the boxes because the boxes could be burnt or recycled. Okay? There was no waste. Right? And then I went further on to tell them that Amway, when I was a part of Amway, that their laundry soap wasn't full of fillers. So you only used a tablespoon of laundry soap, right? And it lasted forever and it came in a little box. I said, you people got to find a way of going back to powder in a concentrated form and blah, 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 blah. Well, now they brought out pods. And I'm thinking, God, they don't listen, right? Because you still had to buy these plastic things because these pods had to be kept dry, right? That's right, right? Plastic is, it decomposes, but you're not going to find like a plastic jug, 500 years from now in the dump. But what it does is it breaks down into beads. And those beads are like plankton size. And that's what's, killing our plankton-based fish and whales and stuff. Because they open their gills and plankton passes through them. And that's how they catch it to eat it. And if it's 40% plastic bits, then they're, you hear what I'm saying? Really? but years too early. Now we have laundry strips. And I was so excited when True Earth came out with laundry strips. Now, I still have quite a few laundry strips, but I'm using my homemade laundry soap. And I find that, yes, it takes more time and extra water, but one extra load of water. And that's not a big deal because there's only 2 of us. But I put a half a cup in with my laundry, and the other half a cup in the laundry dispenser, so that when the water comes out, it breaks it up and shoots it out. And then I put it on a pre-soak, so when it fills up, it soaks. It gives it a couple of agitations, and then it soaks. Then it washes, and I have it on an extra rinse. So my clothes with my homemade laundry soap, well, yeah, they're all stained and getting gray and stuff, but they still come out clean, right? Where did I... Too humid for pods in my climate. There you go. See? I have a 5-gallon bucket of laundry soap. Made it. Took me 5 minutes. And it cost $2. Exactly, Lacey. Exactly. So my closet, I had to actually open the door and take a picture of it because you could see the back of the closet and then a couple of hangers. And I sent it to Howie. And he's like, whoa. Dude. I went, yeah. I was going to ask you about those strips. I remember when they sent you them and I saw you do a video on them, you used it. Okay, one of them, one set of the strips is actually a cleanser, like an everyday cleanser. And you put a strip in a spray bottle with 2 cups of water and you shake it till it dissolves and then you spray it and you do it. But I don't even use that. I use Dawn and vinegar for all my other cleaning needs, right? Like, somebody told me they use their homemade laundry soap in their dishwasher. If you do that, let me know how that goes. But yeah, I got some when I did the preview for the Honest Earth, not Honest Earth, it was the company, the bio whatever it is, and they sent me the scrub brushes and the silicone baking mats and all that stuff. They sent me some laundry strips, and I still had some from Honest Earth, not Honest Earth. I'm getting all my companies mixed up. But they sent me a tin, a flat tin. So if you buy those laundry strips, put them in like a cookie tin so that they stay dry, right? I make my own laundry soap too. Just leave out the scent beads. I don't put scent beads. This is what I make my laundry soap out of. A bar of soap, you just don't use anything like Cam that has moisturizers in it. But, you know, I'm going shopping tomorrow, and I'm going to actually look for laundry soap bars. I'm not holding my breath that I will find any, but I'll put some on my wish list because you guys told me to make a wish list, and now that absolutely makes sense because every time my wish list, every time I get something off it, I knock it off my list. And the list is always there. So I'm going to look on Amazon and see if I can't get bars of soap. Like Fells Naphtha or, yes. Till you added Cool Cloud, I was stumped on the post before. Okay, wait a second. The movie pods are dangerous. Pods are scary according to the movie Body Snatchers, absolutely. I don't go to Walmart until they bring back cashiers. There is a Zote. That's it, yes. I don't trust a lot of chemicals and microplastic beads, especially if my son has severe autism. Well, Briar's on the spectrum. He has a social anxiety disorder, right? So, but he's going shopping with me tomorrow. So I have to get that done early because my friend Serenity Wolf, who lives in Gatineau, sent me a post that there are 15-pound boxes of tomatoes at this one store on sale for $8 a box. And hopefully they will still have some tomorrow. But they said, she phoned them and said they had a lot, that they should have some. And if they do, the first place Briar and I are going to go to is to that store, and I'm going to buy I'm going to buy 60 pounds of tomatoes. God willing, please let me get 60 pounds of nice tomatoes. And then I'm going to sit down when I get home, and I'm going to take the stem end off of all of them and repack them in the boxes and put them in the freezer. Hey, Crooked Little Homestead! Zote. I tried looking for a Zote soap once. Oh, okay. So, I found some really awesome pictures. I found a picture of me. I put it on, Facebook in Connected Hearts. And you look at that, and I was probably 450 pounds. Now, it wasn't until I met with the gastric bypass doctor that I started to lose some weight. I went down to 415 by the time I had my surgery. But I almost didn't recognize myself. The fact that I'm 315 pounds now, actually, I look at myself and go, I didn't even recognize myself at 415 or 450. I've been pressure canning for the first time and love it. Good girl, but remember, don't miss any steps. Letting your canner vent for 10 minutes, putting the proper amount of water in the bottom, put vinegar in the water so your jars don't get cloudy, let the canner vent for 10 minutes. Do not shake or take off the weight to fast depressurize. Your canner will, your stuff in your canner will siphon off liquids. Hey, Dave Smith, how are you? Nanette Cosenza. Did I say it right? Switching what you use is one way to vote with your money. If I understand the method. Exactly. Well, thank you, Tom. I just got out of the shower, actually. That's why my hair's all like this. But I found some really awesome things. This is 2023. So 33 years ago, when Arthur was 2, I took him to like a play school thing, right? We had kind of a play school thing. I can't even remember where it was. But I think it was in our housing complex in the recreation hall. And he got his handprint in pink paint, put his handprint in a little frame, and above it, it says, I know I'm annoying and my fingers are, leaving marks all over the place, but this is what my hand looked like, and, when he was 2. And I took a picture of it and sent it to Mel, and she goes, oh my God, you got to frame that. And I'm looking at it, it's just a piece of paper and it's got a stain on it, but if I can clean it up. And I also found an 8x10 picture of Arthur when he was 2, right around that time, of him sitting on his bed, his very first quilt that I made him, sitting on his bed with his teddy bear. And I thought I should double frame that together. Hey, Leanne! Well, reading instructions does help, absolutely. All your pressure canning videos to a T. I never leave out any steps. Good. That's awesome. Now, my Crooked Little Homestead, I don't want to assume whether you're male or female, so if you feel comfortable sharing, so I can say good girl or good boy or awesome for you kind of thing. Yellow bird up high in banana tree. No, but you know what I have? Somewhere. And I think it might be down under here. Please tell me I didn't throw it out. Somewhere I have a machine that you put negatives in, and you plug it into your computer and you put the negatives in, and it makes the negative into a digital picture. And I have packets of negatives. I have a lot of my dad's negatives. So hurry back, honey. You have a YouTube channel. You're a lady. Hello, my love. Well, is it called My Crooked Little Homestead? Everybody go look at My Crooked Little Homesteads and subscribe. We are a community here. And hi, Snowbella. Now, I've got to say something, and I want to be really careful about how I say this because I don't want to send up flags and not YouTube flags. Does everybody remember the place that I shut the door on a long time ago because of the energy? You know, the factory? Just north of the Muskokas. Really, I used to live in Colborne. I used to live in Apsley. And my cousin used to live in Janetville, right near the Muskokas. Okay, you guys all know what I'm talking about? I went back today. Nothing has been posted since 2022. March 2022. I win. Tweedle, tweedle, tweedle-dee. That's what happens when you don't feed the energy. I actually came out of there happy. I didn't read anything. It's a long story, Star Dream, and I really don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give it that energy that might start it back up again. But it was something that was going on online that really was tearing down my character and my family. And I shut the door on it and walked away and never looked at it again until today. And it stopped. It stopped. So it works, folks. When you close the door on negative energy, okay, every time there's something going on, let's say you have old friends, okay, that have turned on you, and they post all this crap about you on Facebook. Let's just say that, okay? And you block and delete. But if you keep going back and looking at these posts, it's like picking at a scab. It never gets to heal. But if you delete, block, and close the door, that energy can no longer touch you. Right? That energy cannot touch you. But if you open the door, it's an exchange of energy. Do you understand? And then nothing heals. I have Facebook, but I'm not enlightened, honey, but I'm working on it. But thank you. It's toxic people. Why take the poison? Exactly. Now, I have Facebook because I have family, but most of my family's off of Facebook. I actually post everything on Gab. Now, I'll give you my Gab, okay? For the simple reason is Gab is kind of like Facebook used to be, but they don't have Messenger, and I only keep Facebook for the Messenger because I live FaceTime with my grandbaby and my daughter-in-law, and so everything I post, and there's also the fact that I post a lot of controversial stuff. Not because I want to frighten people, but because I want people to be aware that Facebook censors you heavily. And I'm so heavily censored on Facebook that that everybody on Facebook who's on my Facebook only sees 10 to 16% of what I post. Facebook censors the rest. I don't know. I just post there. I just post there. I don't know if it notifies you. Are you? I don't know how it works. It's a little clunky, but it's getting better. I'm actually thinking of investing in Gab. Now the problem with Gab is if you go from Facebook to Gab, it's like a kick in the stomach because they censor nothing. So you get hate speech. You'll see, all this religious, you'll see religious ranting, all that stuff. It's up to you to censor the content that you don't want to see, right? If you don't like seeing a post, then you say, I don't want to see that post, right? You need to censor yourself and learn how to scroll. That's how it used to be on Facebook until Mark Zuckerberg started working for the FBI. I'm sorry, but he took suggestions from the FBI on what people could and couldn't post, and that means it's no longer a private company, right? I got to the pharmacy. Sorry, I will miss your live, but I love thumbed up the lot. Thank you, honey. I'm going to be going live at 8 o'clock on Life with the Wolfies, and I'll be going live again at 9 o'clock with on Reading with Beverly Wolfie. It'll be Little House Live, The Long Winter, Day 10. You be careful, Willows, driving home, okay? Well, you know what I mean. It's if you're used to Facebook and you think Facebook's rough for offensive posts, it's got nothing on Gab. But in all those posts, you get to decide what you listen to, what you read, and what you don't. Nobody else makes that decision for you. So people have to put their big, grown-up pants on and go, okay, I don't want to see that. Just scroll, right? Hey, Karen! Greet. How's it going, KB Canner? That's who I'm calling Karen. I was one of the first ones to be censored. Hey, Mindy! And had my page locked. Do you know how many Facebook pages I've had? And I also have moved some of my older, only about 4 of them, some of my older videos from Our Half Acre Homestead that were either limited in their monetization or made 18 and older or anything like that. They're very old, but I now have another channel on Rumble where I'm working to move some of my older stuff over there called Wolfie's Old Homestead. And here, I'll give you the link to these two. Hang on a second. Because I'm hearing rumors about what's happening. I heard, okay, give me a second here. My channels. Okay. Here is. Okay. Here's one. Hang on a second. Might as well give you all 3. Now, this one is called From Our Half Acre Homestead or Wolfie's Old Homestead. I don't know which one. They confuse me about. They confuse me with what are titles and what aren't, right? Here is my Mrs. Wolfie Let's Talk. That's where you get all my real opinions. And here is my Cooking with Cannabis channel, which I haven't been doing much work on any of them because you know what time of year it is, and I have 3 channels here that I'm working on, right? Okay, let me just pop this chat back out. And God love Howie. Oh, God love Howie. He's bringing home shawarmas for supper. We don't do a lot of fast takeout food anymore because the last time we ate at McDonald's, it made us sick. And so now it's pretty much, if we want something, it's got to be pizza or shawarma, and it's just too hot for pizza. And if you don't know what a shawarma is, it's a big flat bread, okay, like a thin flat bread, and on it is what do you call it when they have the spike with all the seasoned chicken on it, and it's constantly rotating, and they slice it vertically. It's chicken and pickled turnips and lettuce and tomatoes and garlic sauce, and it's all wrapped up, and it's delicious. It's a spit, but it's a type of, it's in Lebanese and Middle Eastern restaurants. You'll see them in the window, and it's on a spit this way, and it rotates. It's not Greek, it's more Middle Eastern. So I'm already getting hot. But so we don't mind getting those. That's a type of sandwich. It's like I guess it's like a gyro. I don't know. I raise my own meat, chickens, turkey, pork, and trade with my daughter for wild game. I wish we could do that now. But Howie is going hunting, because we found out that the limit on, remember I said there was the limit, we didn't get a doe tag, so we have to hunt for buck. And we couldn't take anything with less than 5 points. But that's only one section of our province, not our section. We can take, 2 and 3 points. Hi, Kathy. How are you, sweetie? Tracy, Holt, Linda, Saya. So, he's going to hunt. And if we can't get a deer, then we may just buy some frozen elk meat off my brother-in-law. Like, yeah, we could go all the way down there, spend $1,000 plus gas, and take an elk and skin it and eviscerate it there and bring it home to butcher. But that's like $1,200, because you gotta cost our gas in that too. Hi, Linda Bob. So when I cleaned out my closet today, I found a lot of really cool stuff that had just been stuffed in there. I have a shopping bag full of big spools of thread. Anybody need thread? I'm telling ya. Hi, Holly. Oh, this is for the Little House Live folks. I've ordered the set of the Little House on the Prairie books, the 9-book set, and I'll be giving it away sometime before Christmas on Reading with Beverly Wolfe. Now, it is not a brand new set of books. It is a secondhand set, and it still cost me $72 after shipping. So I should have, if I thought about it, I should have ordered it off of Amazon. It was $30 more, but it would have been brand new, and the shipping was free with my Amazon Prime, right? So the last deer my daughter got was 14.320-pound buck from her own bush, and a 450-pound black bear. I've never had bear meat. My favorite meat is moose. I like moose. It reminds me of what my mom's roast beef used to taste like. Hi, Joe. I'm doing pretty good. I've cleaned up my closet, and that may not sound like a lot, but I took 2.5 garbage bags out of my closet, and a lot of that was fabric. A lot of that was fabric that I've been saving and hanging on to, and I didn't even know I had. These 2 dressers are full of fabric. I'm going to be taking all of this out. All of this from this plastic bin back is all going into my bedroom as soon as I can clear out my big dresser, because I have a really big long dresser that has 4 drawers on each end, and a cupboard, and then big folding mirrors, and it's like dead space, right? So I told Howie, as soon as I get it cleaned out, I'm dumping all of our clean laundry and my dresser onto his bed, because he's not using it yet, right? When he sleeps in the house right now, he sleeps downstairs because it's cooler. And the coach is coming home after this weekend, after the last race. I have moose in my back bush. The cows have their calves every spring down by the swamps behind my barn. Oh, I love moose meat. I love moose meat. So 2.5, including a mini sewing machine. I just tossed it. I'm tired. I'm so tired. So as soon as I get all my dresser emptied onto that bed, well, before I empty it onto that bed, I'm going to go through it and I'm going to throw away anything I haven't worn in a year. Okay? And then I'm going to go through these dressers and throw out fabric I may never use. Right? Now, I'll tell you, I found discontinued fabric that I thought I didn't have any. I probably got 2 yards of it. It's blueberries on a black background. And I love that fabric, and you can't find it anymore. And that's in all, I bought that fabric for my nephew Aaron's wedding quilt. And that was in, when did him and Brownie get married? Oh my God, I'm really having a hard time thinking about this. Funny, okay, it was like in 2000, so it's over 20 years. And I've put it in his quilt, in his brother's quilts, in his, I don't know if I put it in his son's quilt, but in Arthur's quilt, and it's you know what I mean? It's in, so I found it and it's like, oh my God! I was like, that's my favorite fabric in the whole world, is this blueberry fabric. So, no, it's mostly scraps. It's mostly scraps. And I just filled the garbage bag with like tangled scraps and strips and crap. I just threw that. Anything good I kept. And I filled a big bag, clear bag, with everything I was keeping. I even found something I bought at a yard sale, which is a Santa apron and hat. Except it's made out of felt, and I wouldn't use that apron for felt, but I might make a Christmas Santa apron because using it as the pattern. Joni Friels, the Singing Beaverine. What's the Singing Beaverine? Sheila Clarkin, I'm just home from ER, found out my Graves' disease is back. Oh no. Oh no. That's a thyroid disease, isn't it? I'm pretty sure someone in my family has that. I got a big family. I'm pretty sure someone in my family has that. Hey, Vicky Gray. Well, you know what? Once you have the information, you know how to go from there, don't you? You know what you need to do, right? So, why would you think you lost your mind? Well, thank you, Vicky Gray. I said what beautifully? Linda Graves isn't to do with the back. It affects your eyes. My sister. Because her eyes used to bug out. She'd have one eye that would bulge right out. From what I see, you only have 3 stalkers on Rumble. I don't care. I don't care. I learned a long time ago with that other thing that I lived through. And let me tell you about it. There were hundreds of threads. Every thread, there was, I don't know how many there were, but they went up to 100 pages. The way I looked at it was nasty or nice if you're watching my videos, even to tear them down. If you're watching my videos every day because you just want to find something to tear me down about, you're still a fan. You know? Don't find things and then we feel like a hypochondriac. Oh yeah, I get that. It's like my sister is now going to The singing beaverine. Beaverines are what members of Prepper Nation are called, like wolverines. I have a music channel. Oh my goodness. Okay. If you got channels, guys, and you want me to look at them and shout them out, especially if they're, like a community preparation, homesteading, anything kind of like that, email me at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com. Linda Bopp will put the link in there, and email me a link to your channel. I'll check it out, and I will do my best to shout you out now and again. A hyperactive thyroid, not like, okay, I have a cousin who has Hashimoto's, and my sister had Graves, along with a host of many other things. Well, yeah, Holly, of course, right? Like, I remember the first time I looked into that, somebody put a link to this horrible website in Facebook, and when I went to look at it, it was like getting gutted that people actually thought it like about me that way. And I spent years, probably 2 years, working through my feelings and getting to the point up until last year. Well, no, I've been in there since 2021, right? And for the last 2 years, I haven't gone back. And when I got to the point where I realized that, when I was still an angrier person and feeding the dark energy, because if we're negative, we feed negative energy, and it grows exponentially. It's so much harder to feed the light, and that's why we need to do it. Anybody can feed the negative. Anybody can feed the negative. So when I put things out on Gab and Rumble, I'm not there to frighten people. I'm there for the people who know what I'm talking about and see what's going on. Right? I don't want to frighten people. I want people to be aware. I'm not telling people what to think. I'm asking them to think. Right? So, but it took me a couple of years to get from absolutely gutted and enraged. It took me over a year to say, look, if you're doing that, you're a fan. Bitch, please. Right? But now I'm not even there. Right? Anybody who knows me or has been with me since like 2010 or 11 has seen the mental, emotional, and spiritual growth that having YouTube channels has done for me. Right? Like, people think I don't have any outside friends. Of course I do. But thanks to the pandemic, people feel kind of broken about how they put things back, the pieces back together. When you've been, when you've been on lockdown and you're not allowed to visit your family at Christmas, and you're not allowed to have Thanksgivings together. And then there's parts of your family that believed in the mandates and the shots, and parts of your family that didn't. And everything got shook up in a jar, right? It's going to take time to get things back into a community mindset. But that's why we come here, right? Renee! Oh my God, how are you, darling? Renee. Okay, I have to ask you something, and I'm not going to, I need you to answer me. Rizzy! Oh no, they'll never go back to normal, but I'm still working on how to go live on Rumble. Pretty soon, or hopefully within the next year, I'll be able to go live on Rumble and talk about everything, right? Hi, Judith Ann. I sit and read comments and listen so closely I forget to say hello. Well, we love you too, sweetheart. Renee, was it you who kept in close contact with Larry? Or Lair? I'm going to figure it out one way or another, even if Arthur has to show me how when they come up for Thanksgiving, or Briar has to show me how. I just wanted to know, Renee, if it was you who was keeping close contact with Larry. I like talking about everything. I know I hate being muzzled. Because I have to tell you, Renee, he passed away not long ago, a few months back. Larry passed away. He had an emotional breakdown, and I guess he got hit by a bus or a truck. He had run out in front of it or walked out in front of it, and he was in the hospital for a very, very long time, and he passed away. And so he called me his big sister. Well, little sister, because, he was a big guy, but yeah, he passed away. I thought, there's one thing I hate is not knowing what happens to my friends that I meet online. And I know that you and Larry had a special connection, so I wanted to let you know. So, thank you, Kathy. Running away, need to learn how to use a printer I don't have. Take care of. You know what? My printer works, but I only get yellow and black. So I have to figure out how to clean the heads on it with alcohol and Q-tips, I was told. Because the tanks are full and I have extra ink, right? I'm just grateful that he's out of it now. He was a wonderful soul. A wonderful soul. And we would have huge, long conversations in Messenger, before he got hit. So I actually don't, I found out, but I actually don't speak to his brother. But it wasn't his brother. It's his brother that connected with my nephews. It's him that connected with me, right? Because he was older. Absolutely. Always send love and comfort. But, so it's good to hear from you. Hi, Beth. How are you, darling? I haven't seen you in a bit either. So, hey, Manette. He is resting in peace. He's more freer than he ever was in life. Because connections like that in life. Yeah, I mean, I met him when the kids were like young teenagers. I met him, right? But we met later on. We met up on Facebook, and we got to talking, and we shared a lot of emotional stuff, like a lot of emotional stresses that we went through in the world. 60 geese flying south today. Kind of early. They were kind of early last year too. Hey, Peggy Austin, how are you, darling? It has been a minute, Beth Miller. It has been a minute. So, God is building his army. So many good people have passed away lately. So sorry for your loss. Prayers of peace for family and friends. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else was I going to say? I'm all over the place. I'm like a monkey in a tree. So let's get back to cleaning up my closet. So I found pictures of my parents' house. I found when they first bought it. And I know they paid $5,500 for that house in 1955. And my dad and my uncles, because it was right down the street from where my parents were living and my grandparents' house. And my mother was pregnant with the third child. So my sister was a toddler, like 2. And my mom was like 7 months pregnant with the third child. There were 5 of us. And for 2 weeks, now there was big gaping holes, the size, bigger, 3 times the size of that doorway, where you could see the lathing through the plaster. The plaster had just chipped off. And my father and my uncles went in and cleaned for 2 weeks straight, because the people that had lived in it, it was on the point of being condemned, but they wouldn't condemn it because it was row housing. You could hear people fart through the walls. There was no insulation. It was just lathing and plaster on there, and then lathing and plaster there, right? So but my mother, apparently, when my mother went in and looked at it after they cleaned for 2 weeks, and she cried. She cried. It was so horrific. I mean, the people that had lived in it had a garbage can in the basement so that when they flushed their toilet, it just dumped into a garbage pail in the basement. And we had the last coal furnace that I'm aware of. We had the last coal furnace in Toronto. We had it right up until 1974. Hey, BlackRock! Matthew Thomas, hi! Praying for his mama. I don't think I think his mama passed away a long time. I'm not sure. I didn't know much about the family part. Time for you to construct dinner. Take care, Carolyn. I didn't even see you, honey. I'm sorry I missed you. So, I understand about God building his army, because there's army in heaven, and it's not necessarily an army. It's the wall, isn't it? It's the path of light. And as long as, like, I have no anger and hurt anymore about those people that wrote those horrible things about me for the longest time. I pray for them, because you have to be living in a really, really dark place to do nothing but pick on people that they consider, I guess, celebrities on the internet, and tear them down in a forum that is so closed that anybody in the public can see it, but you have to be a member to comment on them. And they won't let you be a member if you make a negative comment. So it's only the members. And it's like this rat wheel of continuing negative energy that they were constantly feeding themselves with. What that does to a person's soul is beyond me. I don't want to know. So I pray for them. And the more I pray for the negative people, right? I get negative. I'm not perfect. It happens, right? But if you pray for them and you give them to God, God's the only one that can do anything about them, right? So the more we focus on I know I keep saying this, but I one of these days it's going to click for some people, right? Like if someone says, well, you're just a fat, lazy, dirty old tramp or something, right? Before you respond, you go, wow. If they can look at me and that's all they see, then they're coming from a really dark, dark place. Poor them. My God, I feel so bad for them. God, we give them to you. That's responding in a place of love. Or if, like, I've had people come on, and trolls come on and say, oh yeah, you're just a loudmouth, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you can't see the love that I actually feel for you. But I will pray for you. That is when God has got your back. And he's going, yes, because guess what? The God of my understanding is nothing but love. No. Do you honestly think that God brought plagues and God brought this to, all these things to the pharaohs? No. God is all good all the time. God is love. Right? So whenever you're doing something from a loving standpoint, even if it's rebutting somebody that's really very negative, you're feeding the light and diminishing the darkness. And narrow is that path of righteous light that we try and walk in every day. But if you go backwards, like picture God's love as the yellow brick road. Don't get the Wizard of Oz in this, but picture God, the path to God's, the path of God's love is a path that is so brilliant and so full of light, no darkness can touch it. But if you look off the path, it starts to dim, to go into the darkness. Have you ever stood at the top of a set of stairs at nighttime? And I remember doing this as a child, getting up to go to the bathroom, because my parents always left the bathroom light on so that nobody accidentally fell down the stairs or whatever, right? If I would go to the bathroom, I remember one night the light shining out into the hallway, and I looked down the stairs, and the stairs were light at the top, and then they faded down to black. They faded to black. Well, if you picture God's love as a brilliantly lit path of divine love and light, and you look off the path, it may not look so bad. It's illuminated. It's just a little dim. But the farther you go from the path, the more the dark swallows you. Right? And that darkness, let's say 50 Shades of Grey, and not the book, the story. It's that 50 Shades of Grey. See, there's only true light. Everything else, other than divine light, everything else is just a different shade of darkness, if you look at it that way, right? Okay, Minette, keep us posted, okay? Hi, Cricket. What am I missing that sounds yummy? I'm not making dinner tonight, Lacey. Howie is bringing home shawarmas. Shawarma is a flatbread with chicken and seasoned chicken and lettuce and tomatoes and pickled turnips, red pickled turnips. And garlic sauce. It's really delicious, and it's quite healthy for you. Giggles and laughs. Hi. So that's what I say when I say there, narrow is the path. Narrow is the path of divine light and God's love. Right? And it does reach into the darkness. But it doesn't mean we should step off that path into the darkness, because it soaks into you. And before you know it, you're in the dark and you don't know where you are, and you've lost the light. So every time we do something or react with love, like for instance, it wasn't long ago that, well, tomorrow Howie's going to the races and I'm going shopping. So I am going to be busy all day, but I will do a shopping video when I get home. Light cancels out the dark. Light is the only thing that the darkness cuts through. The only thing that cuts through the darkness is light. So every person that travels on the path of divine light and love makes the path all that brighter. It makes it easier to see where you're going. Where are we going? Well, some people call it heaven. I actually think the ideas of heaven and hell have been too boxed in and made too close to the planet. And when I say that, I mean, people think heaven's up there, hell's down there. And people have a tendency, especially children, think that it's subject only to our planet. But you got to remember, God is the source of everything. Aliens, other galaxies, other universes. God is the beginning of it all. Okay? So you want to broaden your thought out of the religious box and think about the choices you have as you walk along that path of light. Like, for instance, I am particularly going to visit the energies that were my family in the past. And in the past before that, in the past before that. And then I might trip onto a planet that was Earth as it was in Eden. But like paradise. Or I may just trip the cosmos. Because once I'm done with this earthly body, I'll have choices. Right? It's not just heaven and hell, folks. It's everywhere wonderful. Right? Fourth night in a row. He loves lasagna. Well, that's good. At least he's going to eat it, right? How are you doing, Joe? That's why we should wear white for funerals, to attract the positive energy, not black, which absorbs negative energy. Yeah. If you remember, how long, raise your hand if you've been with me since 2015 forward. Because if you look back, I wore a lot of black. And I still wear black, like, if I go out into an evening or something, I wear black because it's slimming, okay? But if you notice, when was the last time, other than going to like a Christmas dinner or a banquet or something, when was the last time you actually saw me wear black on a regular basis? Hey, Giggles and Laughs. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hi, Lori. So that's why exactly. So I believe in wearing white for funerals. I think that's a great idea, right? So how many of you have seen my spiritual, mental, and emotional and physical growth? Yeah, I'm getting older. And someone said, you're only 59, you're not old. I have rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and fibromyalgia. I live in the body of a 70-year-old woman. But I'm 59. My soul is ageless. So how old am I really? It's just a number, right? I feel so much better than I was, getting my strength back. Awesome! I'm glad to hear it. Hi, Mary. Of course there's different realms to the universe. I remember my dad, this is when I was about 14, my dad would get into all these long talks with me because most of the time I was my brother Bob was off somewhere. But I would have these long conversations with my dad. Like, he was really into Isaac Asimov and all this stuff. He just thought the planets were amazing. Oh, and remember me telling you my dad built these great big bookshelves because our dining room and living rooms, they were only 6.5 feet wide? 8 feet wide? I don't know. I can't remember. But my father built bookshelves, and I found a picture of the bookshelf with all the Encyclopedia Britannicas and everything on it. I'm doing better getting my strength back. Good luck tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow, Joe? It's not a gyro, it's a shawarma. There's shawarmas, and then there's I don't know. We just call them shawarmas. But I forget where I was going. It had something to do with the pictures. Fear equals false evidence appearing real. Oh, that's well said. Now, if you remember, there's only two true emotions in the world. And one feeds the light, and one feeds the dark. The light is love, and the dark is fear. Everything dark is driven by fear. That's how they get you. So you be not afraid, but walk in the light of God's love. And always, always, it's like I used to rage on here in live streams about politics and religion and all that. Oh, there it is. I used to have long talks with my dad. My dad told me about barcodes. He told me to get it when I was 14. He told me to get a can of peas out of the cupboard. And he showed me the barcode. He said, one day you'll just be able to scan that and it'll add it up. He said, that's a price, right? And he said they won't need cashiers. That was 35 years ago. But I remember talking to my dad about the universe and the galaxy, and he told me about, you know, we lived in the Milky Way galaxy inside, you know, our universe. And I went, okay. And he goes, but what happens when you get to the end of our universe? And I went, I don't know. He said, do you meet a brick wall? I said, no, probably another universe. And he went like that. And my whole brain exploded because he opened my mind that, and it's taken me many, many years to understand exactly what he was talking about. How many, you know what, Rizzy, honey? They're only bad days if we let them. They're only bad days if we don't recognize them and prepare with love, right? For instance, there is going to be no pantry video this year. Maybe it loops around. Has anybody ever seen Men in Black? I love that movie. Why? Because, do you remember they went looking for the galaxy? The galaxy is on Orion's belt. Orion was the cat wearing a little jewel on his collar. And when you looked into that, at the very end, you looked into it, and it was a galaxy. And inside that galaxy were, or inside that little universe was other galaxies. And inside those galaxies was other galaxies, and it went on ad infinitum. You know what I mean? It's just hard when you have so much stuff you are trying to deal with. I understand that, Rizzy. I understand that. But the truth is, make your decisions based on love and a secure future, not from fear. Right? I'm packing my pantry, but I'm not going to be showing a pantry video this year. I'm also not doing a video for every time I can. Do you know why? Because I saw a clip, and someone said it was from Ottawa, but I haven't had it verified yet, that they found, it's kind of like census, but they came home from work and found on their doorknob a plastic flyer that talked about emergency preparedness and what they needed to do. And they wanted this company or this government or this committee or whatever it was, wanted to know how much food you had in storage, how much provisions you had, how many bedrooms you had, how many bathrooms you had, how many people lived in your house, and could you make room for more in an emergency situation. Now, I'm not going to say 15-minute cities, but I don't even like doing the census. And I found out that you don't have to do a census. They say, oh, you have to, it's the law. I don't think it is. I'm going to have to look that up. If they ever take the census again, I'll say, go away. You're not allowed in my house. You're not allowed on my property. You don't know. But my whole point is I'm not doing a pantry video because the government's already looking into our pantries. Okay? If these things, you only see bits and pieces. But if you stand back and you look at, now this is just my opinion, okay? I am not a professional. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professional anything. But this is my opinion based on 10 years of research. Don't ask me where I get my research. Do your own, okay? But I remember posting on Facebook about Agenda 21. And Agenda 21 was all about the United Nations taking rule of the world, supposedly. The Agenda 21 was for all the civilized worlds and countries to join it, and they would mandate environmental things. They would take control of the water, of the land, of the resources in every country, so that it could be shared by all and looked after. And I remember my brother saying to me, "What the hell is your problem with that?" And I said, "If you read it really carefully," now we're talking 10 years ago. I said, "If you read it really carefully, it's giving absolute control of our lives over to the United Nations." I said, "Do you remember Soylent Green?" And Bob goes, I said, "My favorite line." The line, I saw that movie in the 70s. And I'll tell you, I was a kid, but I remember one line because I had a thing for Charlton Heston. And Charlton Heston said to Edward G. Robinson, "Oh, land is too precious for private ownership." Now we're getting into they're setting up 15-minute cities to make it easier to lock people down. There's going to be environmental lockdowns. They're saying that the environment is changing. It's not. Well, it is. Climate change is a natural cycle. Yeah, we don't have a climate crisis, folks. We have a pollution crisis. But they call it a climate crisis to further their agenda. Okay? So now we're looking at 2030, where you will own nothing and be happy. All right? These are all connected, but they keep them so far apart that people haven't been connecting the dots. Thank you, God. People are waking up and going, "I've got too many to worry about. It's not all gray. It looked blondish mix." Oh, okay. One of my son's teachers had all the students answer a questionnaire about their home life. Do you have Wi-Fi? How many people? Oh, man, see? They're also working very hard at separating parents from the children in the schools so that the children can be indoctrinated in this new woke ideology. Do you want to hear what I believe is woke and what I believe is awake? Do you want to hear what I think the difference is? So let me put it to you this way. Everyone's like, "Oh no," right? If you look at there was somebody put a Facebook post up. It was actually quite funny. And it showed the weather. And when did I get married? In 1993. We got married. And it was 35 degrees in the shade the day we got married. And in 1961, my brother Bob was born on September 24th in the middle of a high 90s heat wave in Toronto. This is nothing new. And for those people who think all these fires are a climate issue, they're not. They're adding to pollution. But this is all shake up the jar and make the red ants and the black ants turn against each other, because they can't see who actually shook the jar, so it must be the opposition, right? I love you too, Linda. I love everybody. Hi, Dima Beth. We're Jane. The big heavy duty trucks went to the Louisiana fire to help put it out, and the government told them to go home. I know you can't. The thing is with the internet, this is why there's so much censorship going on. You can't stop the people from seeing the truth. And when they see the truth, the scales fall from their eyes, and you can never unsee the truth again. Right? We have a pollution crisis. Carbon taxes that are making my gasoline $1.80 a quart, folks. It's over $6.75 a gallon, our gas is right now. And it's carbon tax. Our gas, at the very most, should be no more than 75 cents to 95 cents a liter. Living in Wyoming is the coolest summer well, we've had a really cool summer too. But then, you know, they've got, and please don't tell me chemtrails are not real. There's enough proof out there that they are. That's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. Contrails, only, this is an airplane. This is a contrail. And as the airplane moves, the contrail never gets any longer. A chemtrail, okay, stays in the air and then spreads to cover the sky, to block the sun. And they're full of heavy metals. And they're landing on our soil and in our water and blocking our sun. Do you understand what they're doing? They're messing with the elements. And good old Mother Nature and God is not going to stand for it much longer. Right? So, and if you don't think your weather can be interfered with, think again. Look up geoengineering. Look it up. All right? There's as many videos out there debunking me as there are supporting me. Why? Because God wants you to use the common sense you were born with. We have free will. It's up to us what we believe and what we do to change things. Right? Hi, Katajiber. So yes, people are waking up en masse, right? I watched a bunch of videos where, you know where I get my news? I get my news off of Rumble and off of TikTok and Instagram. You know why? Because for all the crap that's on there, there's nuggets of pure golden truth. And I've been watching people wake up like crazy, right? I watched a couple of town hall meetings where in Maui where people got up and said, this was not a natural disaster. You see Oprah and Rock standing up going, give to this foundation to help. That foundation funnels the money back into celebrities that have properties on Maui, not the people. The people, they shut off the water and barricaded people in. There's people, whole families that got baked, fried to a crisp in cars because the police wouldn't let them off the front street. I'm not saying this to frighten people, but the amount of fires this year, all right, I watched one video where a guy did all this research and only 15% of fires, all of the fires, are caused by nature. The other 85% is 30% human carelessness and 55% arson. Right? It's not this climate crisis. I heard Trudeau, I saw Trudeau go, well, the world is burning. And you know, because of climate change. I've seen videos in Alberta and BC and everywhere where the fires were raging, but they weren't letting I watched one where the police just stood there and wouldn't let the guy on his property. He said, man, I can put out 10 spot fires at the edge of my property, saving my property. I can put out 10 spot fires with a bucket and a shovel in an hour, and you're not letting me save my property. And he said, this is what it is right now. And he wouldn't let them through. I watched a native man be blocked from an indigenous person, elder, being blocked by the police from going onto his own land. And the truth is, the police have no jurisdiction there. None. Hi, honey. Was there any mail? Well, I won't be long, but somebody said they sent me books and it was supposed to be delivered yesterday. Whoever sent me books, they haven't been delivered. So what I want you folks to do is, like I said, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm asking you to think for yourself. All right? Don't be swayed by the fear-mongering that's going on in the world. When I give you stuff, when I give you information to look up, look on Instagram. I don't give a shit if it's owned by Mark Zuckerberg. All right? I know, Joe. Thank you, Linda. But the way things are going in this woke society, we have to listen to the voice of God, the source, the creator, whatever you want to call it. We have to listen to that still, calm voice inside us that keeps our meter like this, that keeps our compass pointing in the right direction on that path. But if you hear something that goes, that they say, oh yeah, like the jabs work, and you go, listen to that voice. Be still and know that you will hear God's voice, right? Hi, Aaron. I went to the doctor yesterday. They now have a sign saying if you do not have a jab or boosters, you must wear a mask. I will not comply, and neither will I. I have to go. Come in and say hello, Howie. You're half undressed already. I got to go, folks. This is Mrs. Volpe from Our Half Acre Homestead saying this will have to stand in for your Friday video. I'm going. Yes, Gracie, Daddy's home. I'm going shopping with Briar tomorrow, and I will do my best to do a shopping video. But then I'm hopefully canning all weekend because I have a feeling I have been told where I can get 15-pound boxes of tomatoes for $8, and if I can, I'm going to get 4 of them, at least 60 pounds. So I love you, folks. Take care. God bless, and remember, it's up to you which voice you listen to. All right? The one that keeps your meter on center or the one that makes you doubt. All right? Take care. God bless. Mwah. I love you guys.